The last few chapters of Half-Life are memorable, to say the least, for they are the ending to one of the greatest experiences we ever had in an FPS game. But as much as Xen looked amazing, was it a bad chapter? For many years I always saw praise for both Half-Life and its sequel on the internet. But there would be these rare times where I would come across a forum board post, a Reddit post, or even see my friends say something like, Water Hazard is bad, On a Rail is bad, and of course, Xen is bad. Now to establish a perspective and some context, Lambda Core is the chapter that comes before the Xen chapters. And the Lambda Core chapter is amazing. There's a build-up to it. Long before you reach it, scientists tell you about it and it's in your mind all the time. And once you get there, it's as ominous as you'd be hoping it to be. It feels like you're getting closer to the end at every step, but apart from its reputation and build-up throughout the game, it's a really good run-and-gun type of chapter. You go to many sections, fight a lot of alien grunts and vortigaunts, and finally, see the teleportation chamber. A chamber to rival the size of the anti-mass spectrometer chamber. The first time I was playing Half-Life as a 5-year-old kid, I thought this was it. This is where I would fight the final boss, whatever it may be. But that wasn't the case. When the scientist says jump in, I jumped in, having no idea what to expect next, and there it was. Xen, the alien border world. An alien looking, it definitely is. Things are calm at first. It's just you in the middle of God knows where, in which part of the solar system or even dimension. Who knows, this might be even some other universe. Now the first complaint I want to talk about is the platforming. Some players say that the platforming in Xen is annoying, irritating, and a major drawback. While I don't see a particular problem with it, I do have to say that you need to calculate your moves. If you jump to the wrong platform, you can suffer a lot of fall damage. I really like the texture usage in these chapters. They feel otherworldly, even though they were made using images of things from our planet. Of course, these textures also act against the players in one of the sections in the Naylands chapter, but I'll get to that in a minute. So after this is the Gonarch's lair, which is also a common complaint I read online. First is that you can't even tell if the Gonarch is taking damage or not, but then again, none of the enemies in Half-Life show that. I just use the old tip that I learned from Doom, shoot it until it's dead. The second thing players say is that the head crabs and the baby head crabs are extremely annoying here. You're trying to focus on the Gonarch, but these head crabs keep distracting you. I agree on that. It definitely is a little annoying when I'm trying to take down an alien monstrosity, but these little buggers try to chomp on my head. And the baby head crabs have such a texture that it's a little difficult to see them on the ground. Plus, them having a really small size doesn't help either. Then there's the fact that you can easily fall off into the void below, so you need to be aware of where you're going while fighting the thing. Once the Gonarch is dead, we step into another portal to proceed forward. Interloper. Interloper. This is the chapter where the difficulty goes from 10 to 100 real quick. I was already fatigued after the Gonarch fight, but then these things start appearing and the Vortigaunts don't help either. So the best strategy is to stay in a corner or behind cover and take out as many of these as you can. Another complaint I've seen is that there's not enough ammo or resources in Xen, so by the time you reach Naylands, players say there's not enough ammo to fight him. What I do is not use the gluon gun or the Gauss gun. I save that for the final fight, along with some crossbow bolts. Plus, if you look around a little, there's always a little stash of ammo hidden away somewhere. There's one specific part of Interloper that's just mind-boggling to go through. Well, all of Interloper is difficult, but this part's special. So rather than going aggressively, you need to slowly take out each enemy before proceeding further. And I like the overall alien design of the Zen levels. In a way, the gameplay complements that very well. Think of it this way, this is an alien world, something that is not known to us, and it plays in an alien way too. Sure, it's difficult, with its narrow platforms and falling off into the void pits, but it's the only way it could have been done. Granted, it could have been made challenging and less frustrating. Constant bombardments by alien controllers while getting zapped by Vortigaunts isn't much of a challenge. Lastly, there's a complaint that it's just too long. And I think this complaint comes from those players who are just tired of the game by this point. They just want to finish it. In a way, the game could have gone from Lambda Core straight to the entrance of the final boss battle. That could have worked, and I personally wouldn't have minded. Or even cutting down the Zen levels by taking out the Gonarch fight might have worked too. And another somewhat valid complaint is that the health regenerating pools and beams, or whatever these are really slow. And yeah, they kind of are. They disrupt the pacing in a way. While you're shooting aliens full of adrenaline, it doesn't help that you have to stop and wait like a minute for your health to regenerate. And lastly, there's the final boss fight itself. It might be one of the easiest boss fights I've played, specifically if you know what to do. As soon as you spawn in Nilan's chamber, take out the gems on the walls with the crossbow, shoot the thing with the crossbow or the rockets, and when the head opens, fly into the air using these jump pads and use the gluon gun to shoot at its brains. That's it. But if you linger long enough, you'll notice that this fight is kind of annoying as well. First, the teleportation ball takes you to these chambers, which is just... This is what I was referring to when I said the textures work against the player. Because the extruded platforms that you're supposed to jump on have the same textures as the wall, they're really hard to see. And in such a tight space, having controllers on the top is another problem. Then this chamber. No. Just no. Secondly, Nilan's attack is just critical as hell, it just one-shots you. There's a rare chance you'll survive if you get hit with them. So taking cover is very important here. In conclusion, the Zen chapters might be difficult, annoying, or challenging, but they are far from being bad levels. The thing is that they aren't well polished as the rest of the game. Even Mark Laidlaw said that these chapters were a last-minute addition. I'm guessing deadlines is the sole reason why this chapter plays a little differently. And before ending the video, I just wanted to mention the concept sketches for Zen. Obviously the final product doesn't look like this, but it would have been cool if one of the sections did. But hey, we can only dream about that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.